The show and on to a big exclusive that we have on CNBC TV18. My colleague Parikshit actually spoke to the American economist and Nobel literature Paul Krugman on Trump's trade tariffs and how it has had an effect on U.S. economy. Listen in.
It's really hard to see the tariffs in the hard data. It takes time for them to show through, but we're likely to see a bump in consumer prices starting within weeks. So the inflationary impact of the tariffs is coming. You can see already that businesses have scaled back a lot of expansion plans, not simply because of the tariffs, but because of the uncertainty. If you ask me, what will tariff rates be 120 days from now? Nobody has any idea. And that includes Donald Trump. That includes his Treasury Secretary. And businesses are reluctant to make plans to make investments on that basis. So, yeah, I think we're probably now maybe slightly down, but still maybe 50% chance of a recession, but certainly an economic slowdown, certainly a bump up in the inflation rate. It's stagflation. Maybe it's stagflation light, but we're definitely heading for some kind of stagflation.
Right. Could you give us a sense of your outlook for the U.S. economy for the full year 2025 as a result of Trump's policies? You're saying that there is a 50% chance of a recession. And what could be some of the contours of the stagflation, according to you?
Well, okay. I mean, a sort of best guess is that we'll have little to no growth for the year. Maybe slightly positive, maybe slightly negative. If it's slightly negative, we'll call it a recession. If it's slightly positive, we won't. But from the point of view of how it feels to people, it'll be the same thing. Probably higher, almost surely higher unemployment, and quite surely higher inflation. Even with this very modest step back in the tariffs, tariffs are going to probably add 2% or something to the consumer price index over the course of the year.
What do you think Donald Trump's tariff policies and some of his trade deals will do to the long-term confidence in the America story? Do you think Donald Trump will be able to make corrections in the next few months, or do you feel what he has done is going to shake investor confidence in the long term?
What country will ever really take us seriously when we make promises? What business is going to make plans on the basis that whatever the current policy is something you can be relied on to continue? So no, we don't undo this. It'll take many years of responsible government, which we see no sign of happening anytime soon, many years of responsible government to get back to where we were 4 months ago.
That all of this, his criticism of certain policies of companies, all of this is going to slow down the capex cycle, because companies will be like, hey, we don't want to invest anymore. We don't know what's happening at the White House, when policies may change. Let's not put up additional capacity. Let's not make fresh investments. And do you think this could lead to reduction in job growth as well in the U.S.?
Oh, yeah. The recession risk for the United States largely comes from, not even from the tariffs exactly, but from the uncertainty. I mean, if Trump just announced 10% tariffs on everybody forever, and people believed him, that would be raise the cost of living, but probably businesses would start investing on that basis. If he keeps on announcing, well, whatever I said about tariffs yesterday, now I've completely changed, and the new tariff rate is good for 90 days. And by the way, whatever business decision you make, I may go out and denounce you and take revenge. A lot of companies you can just start to see it in the actual announcements, but there's truly a lot more of, hey, the safest thing to do, maybe the only safe thing to do, is to sit on cash. Don't stick your neck out. Any investment you make runs a substantial chance of being completely wasted money because policy just did a 180-degree turn before the investment had a chance to mature.
Fair point there, and expert commentary coming in from Paul Krugman speaking about the uncertainty and the kind of impact that has on decision making for the corporates and investments. But he also spoke